Prabhuji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, I'm there. Just a second.
Abhishek says, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. Prabhuji is giving class on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lila, 7.25 onwards. Prabhuji, please take over the call, Prabhuji. Thank you so
Sure.
much for participating today.
Hare Krishna. Welcome to our beautiful Chaitanya Charitamrita discussion, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So before we begin, we want to invoke the Srila Prabhupada system. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Daita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We are serving Chaitanya Charitamrita. If there is some sound.
Everyone mute yourself. Prabhuji is giving class.
Okay. So text 25, Antya Lila chapter 7. Dasa Sakha Vatsalya Ar Jai Singar Dasa Sakha Guru Kanta Ashraya Jahar. The servant, friend, superior and conjugal lover are the shelter of the transcendental mellows called Dasa, Sakha, Vatsalya and Singar. It's interesting how Srila Prabhupada translated. He kept the origin word just to keep it intact. Very nice. Text 26. Aishwarya Gyana Jukta Kebal Bhavavar Aishwarya Gyane Na Pai Brajendra Kumar. There are two kinds of emotion, bhava. Emotion with an understanding of the Lord's full opulences is called Aishwarya Gyana Jukta. And pure, uncontaminated emotion is called Kevala. One cannot achieve shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, simply by knowing his opulences. Purport. By Madhya Lila chapter 19, text 192, text 27. Nayam sukhapo bhagavan dehinam gopika sutaha geninam chatma bhutanam jata bhakti matam miha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible to those devotees engaged in spontaneous loving service. But he is not as easily accessible to mental speculator, to those striving for self-realization by severe austerities and penances, or to those who consider the body the same as the self. This is a very famous verse. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.9.21. Then text 28. Atma bhuta sabde kahe parishada gana Aishwarya Gene Lakshmi Na Paila Brajendra Nandana. The word Atma Bhuta means personal associate. Through the understanding of the Lord's opulence, the goddess of fortune could not receive the shelter of Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Purport. Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, has complete knowledge of Krishna's opulences. But she could not achieve the association of Krishna by dint of such knowledge. The devotees in Vrindavan, however, actually enjoy the association of Krishna. Beautiful short purport, but very impact. So let's evoke the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand this part of Chaitanya Charitamrita was so secret. This is relevant to our present life, where we want to go and where we are going. Are we in a track? And what are the GPS indication to correct within, examine within where we are and where we are going, and how to achieve it. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Ghenanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Shapadikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathannitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vichakhancha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatari Vancha Kalpataruvescha Kripa Sindhubhayeva Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. So again, the purport Prabhupada gave, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, has complete knowledge of Krishna's opulences, but she could not achieve the association of Krishna by dint of such knowledge. The devotees in Vrindavan, however, actually enjoy the association of Krishna. So we are follower of Srila Prabhupada, and we have two authorities. One is two authorities above all other authorities. Just like someone says, what will be the difference ISKCON versus outside? Say in ISKCON we have one authority, Prabhupada, that's it. You don't have to search so much because he compiled all the authorities' opinion within. It made it out of his affection. He gave this morning program, which is the essence of all form of bhakti. 81 types of bhakti, 64 types of bhakti, then boils down to 9 processes of bhakti, then boils down to 5 processes of bhakti. And that's what morning program we have in the temple. And this is adopted now by the members in every houses. So we all are qualified in that sense, getting the essence of this Braja Bhakti. So I'm going to go to Adi Lila chapter 3, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's chapter 4 and chapter 3. Chapter 3 gives a external 3 reasons that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and internal also 3 reasons that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared for. And if we don't focus on that, we cannot reconcile this. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had a challenges, I would say, with Venkata Bhatta in his preaching. But Mahaprabhu was so affectionate and such a loving, caring like mother for a child. He molded this Lakshminarayan Bhakta into Radha Krishna Bhakta. We're not trying to convert anybody. We're trying to awaken our love, what all along we have in our heart. We're not trying to make Hanumanji into Krishna Bhakta, although Hanumanji came as a Murari Gupta. But highest happiness is experience in Radha Krishna Braja Lila. That everybody has to accept. With their maintaining or retaining their eternal nature. Is it possible? Yes. That's why this Chaitanya Charitamrita and Nectar of Devotion, Srila Rupa Goswami Pad gives very details. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila chapter 3, that Lord Krishna himself expressing what caused him to come. In Golok Vrindavan, he was contemplating Sakala Jagata More Kore Vidhi Bhakti, Vidhi Bhakti Brajabhav Paite Nare Sakti. That everywhere in the world, people worship me according to Shastra, according to Bible, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, according to different scriptures, different group following. But simply by following such regulative principles, one cannot attain, this is the key point, loving sentiment of the devotees in Brajabhumi. We offer in Vrindavan, the Brajavasis do Vaidhi Bhakti also. Even though they are emblem of Ragatmika. Ragatmika means they have 2 special qualities, what attracts Krishna, and Krishna always subordinate to their love. And they have Ragatmika Udita. Iste Sarasiki Raga Parama Abhishtata Bhavet. Iste Sarasiki Raga. Sarasiki Raga means they're very specific with their relationship and with their feeling for the Lord. These 2 qualifications, and they're very constantly absorbed in that. With these 2 qualifications, they are eternally united with the Lord through their mind, through their body, through their talking, or gossiping. Everything, every emotion that you think here in this world, there's a three realm. One is immoral. Immoral is here in this world, sin and all this. And then you have to become moral, sinless, all these things come to Adakshaja platform. And then you have to go to Aprakrita platform. Aprakrita platform is above Vaikuntha, which is look like a immoral, look like a sinful, look like all kinds of things. These are called transmoral. So immoral becomes moral, then transmoral, like that. From smaller gradation, they will go up. So there, Lord Krishna himself expressed, knowing my opulences, the whole world looks upon me with veneration. But then Krishna expressed, Oishwarya Sithila Preme Nahi Moro Prita, that the devotion made feeble by such reverence does not attract me. This is heavy. One concept is that we should please God. That is bhakti also. We should please God. How to please God? We should just contemplate and do something to please him. That's good. But higher than that is what pleases God. It's a very fine line. Because in this 7th chapter, very nicely, if you look at in the beginning, we are on text 28 today. I have a good friend in New Orleans. He made a few slides. It was very nice yesterday. And just to give you overview, what is Mahaprabhu's coming down to discuss with this wonderful devotee, Vallabha Bhatta or Vallabha Acharya. That Gopal Radhe Prabhu, he made these beautiful slides. It's very nice. So I just want, because next few weeks or maybe few months or maybe few weeks, I don't know how it runs by your group. I only come to give class. I never inquire so much how the study going on. So you have to forgive me, please. I should inquire. But a concept, a map is given that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this chapter revealing what is ultimate goal and who is the object of our ultimate love. Who is the object of love? So then in that scenario, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the position himself as a Mayavadi sannyasi. And his conversation with Vallabha Bhatta, the whole chapter you will read, Mahaprabhu established very unique. He established through, not by himself claiming, he is establishing a wonderful tattva through Advaita Acharya, through Nityananda Prabhu, through Uddhava, through Haridas Thakur, through Sarup Damodar, and through Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and through Ramananda Rai. And I'm sure, because I'm convinced, anybody understand this conversation of Mahaprabhu's with Vallabha Bhatta, then definitely you will never miss the track. This is such a wonderful, this chapter. I mean, every chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita is wonderful. But here Mahaprabhu is revealing who Krishna is in Vrindavan and who are the Brajavasis and what is their reciprocation. It's wonderful. Prema Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Benu Madhuri, Lila Madhuri, all four are manifesting here. Through Advaita Acharya, Srila Prabhupada says that Advaita Acharya was such a wonderful, great personality, seeing the Kali Yuga vision. Now, I relate to my own existence. If Advaita Acharya would come, say, 5000 AD, And this is only 2021. Now, where would I be? I don't know. I was here when Mahaprabhu came. I didn't get in touch. I'm still rotten. Probably I was somewhere in stool pit. Mahaprabhu came, all these great personalities, Six Goswami came. I was not here. Now we are thankful to Advaita Acharya, eternally indebted, that because he evoked, he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just on time that we are attracted. This is, so we owe him, and we must always appreciate that he's calling just proper time, that somehow or other we got opportunity. 10,000 years from now, there won't be Krishna consciousness visible in this planet. So we are fortunate to be exact on what they call correct time, correct place, with this correct connection, proper connection with Krishna consciousness movement. And Prabhupada was very mercifully gave that. So Advaita Acharya, we owe to him. And he also established many things. Just a short biography, and then I'll go back to the Lakshmi Devis. That Advaita Acharya demonstrated to me, I always think, he had 6 children. 3 of them got Krishna Prem, 3 of them did not get Krishna Prem. And we need to focus that. His own son, can you imagine, you are a son of a Mahavishnu, Narayan, but that doesn't mean you will get love for God. So 3 sons got, 3 sons did not get, and we can learn from it, that how sensitive this offensive mentality can be. It can deprive us, it can take us away. Even though we may be in the movement, we may be driven away. Then comes Mahaprabhu in this chapter. He's going to establish Nityananda Prabhu's position. He is the supreme absolute truth. But he is establishing the glorious position of Mahaprabhu's contribution. And first contribution he did by promoting Jagai Madai's deliverer. Because Jagai Madai was very prominent in Navadvip. They were more prominent than Lord Chaitanya. People knew Nimai Pandit, but they knew Jagai Madai as a bad person. Some of the people would pray for him, some of the people would just, like a TV show, you know, like a gadget. Jagai Madai was a gadget in the eye of all Navadvipbashi. What they are doing today, who did they torture, what kind of bad thing they did. And Jagai Madai would have a big study group every day. They would study Shastra. In the Shastra, they would see what are the bad karma activity they did not do yet. That's the purpose of their studying. It was very funny, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes. So that Jagai, then Nityananda Prabhu thought, if I deliver Jagai Madai through Nimai, then Nimai will take the center point of attraction. And that was the inner desire. And Nityananda Prabhu also considered in Murari Gupta Karcha as the key of the treasure house of love of Godhead. So we always have to appreciate and utter his name before we chant. That's why we chant Panchatattva name. Nityananda Prabhu has the key of that. And then Sarvam Bhattacharya is another most phenomenal. And Prabhupada give this, he's a guru of 6 philosophy. Anybody has any idea, I don't believe God, okay? That's one philosophy. Everything built by atoms, combination of atom, atomic theory, Canada philosophy. You can go any philosophy, modern science or anything, it's within these 6 philosophy. And Sarvam Bhattacharya is a guru. And Mahaprabhu is going to say that Sarvam Bhattacharya actually established what is the highest principle of life and how to obtain it. And he established Krishna's position as the, and then he, of course, he composed 100 verses in the glory of Mahaprabhu's contribution. Then another character comes, Ramananda Rai, who is a Rasacharya. Just like we give an example, if you say ice cream, is it the color of the ice cream? Or is it the ingredients of the ice cream? Or is it the flavor of the ice cream? What attracts us is the taste. So that Rasa Acharya, Ramananda Rai, nobody is equal to him. he established that Brajananandan Krishna's position as the highest object of rasa. No personality ever proven what Brajananandan Krishna did. And then Mahaprabhu established ecstatic love of Krishna, how it is highest in Vrindavan. And he glorified two types of devotee in Vrindavan. One is Sambandha Atmika and one is Kama Rupa Atmika. Sambandha Atmika means every Brajabasi has some relationship with Krishna. Except one group of Brajabasi, they don't have a relationship. Their love, because Paramaur is not a relationship in spiritual world or material world. Nowhere Paramaur is appreciated. But their love, their attraction of union and separation feeling, what makes the spouse or beloved most relishing the highest ecstasy, that was established. Then Mahaprabhu also explained about the spontaneous love. And he established all category of materialistic, non-believer, believer, religious people, then coming to bhakti tradition, then amongst the bhakti, there is the different gradation of bhakti, how everybody ultimately come to this point that Brajabashi's prem to the Lord is the highest. Then Mahaprabhu established Swarup Damodar's position. Through Swarup Damodar, Radharani's loving exchange with Krishna and Krishna's loving exchange with Radharani culminates above everything. And the proof is Uddhava. Uddhava Gita 47 and 46 chapter. Mahaprabhu gave the synopsis, or you can say condensed form, in this chapter. Then comes Vrindavan's transcendental mellow of conjugal love. Who can enter there? Mahaprabhu says anybody can enter there if they have a access. And where is the access? Then he glorified Haridas Thakur, that Namacharya, through the holy name, how anybody can enter there. And then Mahaprabhu gave randomly so many devotees' name that who has actually preached and practiced and experienced that. This is not an idea, this is a reality. So this summarized the whole chapter. Now I'm going to go back to today's subject matter, that about the Lakshmi Devis. The purport Prabhupada said again, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, has complete knowledge of Krishna's opulence, but she could not achieve the association of Krishna by dint of such knowledge. The devotees in Vrindavan, however, actually enjoy the association of Krishna. Now the question comes, why Mahaprabhu is telling this to Ballava Bhatta? Why Ballava Bhatta need to hear this? Because we have the same problem. What Ballava Bhatta has, Ballava Bhatta is acting on the role. Because Ballava Bhatta is actually a great devotee. He is a bhakta of Vatsalya Rasa, Bal Gopal worshipper. And Mahaprabhu wants to give him Koishar Gopal. He wants to raise him to the higher platform. But traditionally, when you approach to a great devotee like this, they will never change. So this scenario has to be created. So this chapter is explaining. We have to be very careful not to commit offense. We should not think Ballava Bhatta is like an ordinary person. No, he's a great devotee. He is taking that role, and actually Mahaprabhu's mercy will be manifesting through him, through their discussion. So we have to be very careful, alert. In Venkata Bhatta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conversation, this question raised. First of all, Krishna and all his expansion manifestation, is there any difference? No. As per transcendental realization, There is no difference. Where is the evidence? There is a verse in 9th chapter. I don't have exact number. The verse goes like this: Siddhantostu abhedapi Srisha Krishna Swarupaya Rasena Utkrishyate Esha Krishna Rupam Rasasthiti. As per transcendental realization, Abhed means you cannot separate. Bhed means separate. If you think Ram is higher than other God, other Vishnu Tattva, or Ram is above Narayan, or Krishna is above Ram, then there will be offense. Definitely there will be offense. And no way you can get out of that offense. This is very dangerous. Siddhantostu abhedapi Srisha Krishna Swarupaya. Sri Isha means Lakshmi Narayan, Krishna means Krishna. Swarupaya. In their identity, there is no difference. But then next line, very unique. Siddhantostu abhedapi Krishna Swarupaya Rasena Utkrishyate Esha Krishna Rupam Rasasthiti. Rasena Utkrishyate. But as per transcendental Mela, Srila Prabhupada writes, vast difference between Narayan and Krishna. This is very important to understand. As per transcendental Mela, there's vast difference. And this is what Venkata Bhatta and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's conversation was there in Madhya Lila chapter 9. We are in Antya Lila 7, so I am assuming everybody or the listener, most of the listener, they already remember that past time discussion. That's one of the big chapter in Madhya Lila. 9th chapter, Mahaprabhu's traveling to the holy places. I remember Madhacharya, Shankaracharya, all these Acharyas places. And when Mahaprabhu came to Venkata Bhatta, this discussion took place. Also in Adilila, also in chapter 5, Anta also given, the Jar Madhurite Kore Lakshmi Akarshan Rupa Gosai Koriyachen Sei Rupa Bornan. So question is, what is Lakshmi Devi is lacking? Let's discuss that. What is Lakshmi Devi is lacking? First, Krishna is there within Narayan, but there is a difference in their functions. I hope everybody remembers this. Krishna is there within Narayan, or Narayan is there within Krishna, but there is a difference in their functions. Just like Guru is there, but with a different function. Guru in the altar, on Ekadashi day, when you offer grain to the deity, you can offer grain to Radha Krishna on Ekadashi day. And your Guru in the altar also offering there, and he's enjoying with Radha Krishna in Vrindavan. But when he is acting as a Guru in local, we don't offer grain to him on Ekadashi day. Similarly, function is different. So in Narayan, Lakshmi, Gopis, etc., we find distinction and non-distinction. The Gopis, when they are in the form of Lakshmi, they serve Narayan. And Lakshmi in her inner heart has got the position of the Gopis who are serving Krishna in a particular way. So there is a continual connection between them all. Distinction and non-distinction. Both should be maintained simultaneously. We should have respect for the differences, but we must not ignore the inner substance. The relative and the absolute must be taken together. In this way, we always have we will have to harmonize both great teachings like Sarva Dharman Paritejya I was discussing yesterday, that Krishna said to Arjuna that give up all the religion, all dharma. But then he engaged him in his own dharma. Oh, you are a fighter, you should fight. So what giving up what dharma? The self-interest. Arjuna is a Kshatriya fighter. Krishna didn't tell him that he give up that fighting. No, no. Give up all dharma means separate interest. But what you are born with, you're going to engage now here. So there's a fine line. So even Lakshmi Devi, goddess of fortune, the wife of Lord Vishnu, wanted to participate in the Ras Lila of those simple coward girls of Vrindavan, the gopis. But she could not enter. For that market, the place of Ras Lila pastime is so exclusive. Although Lakshmi has all the wealth and grandeur of Lord Vishnu in Vaikuntha, still unsatisfied. Once Narad Muni actually instigated this. Narad Muni once he went there and he glorified about the Ras Lila to Mother Lakshmi in Vaikuntha. She developed such a eagerness. I mean, you can relate. Every wife wants a more intimate connection with the husband. It is natural. Even Mahaprabhu and Venkata Bhattas, I'm going to give just a few minutes summary, that Venkata Bhatta says, why you are saying this? This is not proper. Mahaprabhu said, I'm not saying this. Bhagavatam saying this. Look at in Bhagavatam 16 chapter 10 canto. And he gave the verse. That look at in 36 number verse. That the wives of the Nagakanna, Kaliya's wife, they are praying to the Lord that what a great opportunity of being touched by the dust of your lotus feet that our husband got. Even though he doesn't want, he wanted to bite you and you're forcing with your footprint, lotus footprint on his hood. How is that the goddess of fortune perform austerities for centuries, giving up all other comfortable Brahmana, Narayan's wife, but taking this austerity vow? But you gave the opportunity to our husband, who is a rascal, who is such a demoniac quality. So Venkata Bhatta's eyes open. He opened the Bhagavatam. And he is the one of the main speaker in Ranganath temple. And so many times he read Bhagavatam, but he missed fine print. He never saw this print. In 10.16.36, he read it, but he missed that print that actually Lakshmi is doing austerity, she never got. And he was paying attention. He said, wow, how did I miss that? So then he's looking at Mahaprabhu. Who is this sannyasi? He stayed with me for 4 months. Now he's about to leave. And now he's giving me this. After having a relationship, when somebody lives with you for 4 months in the house, becomes like a family man. Of course, he's a sannyasi. They had a awe and reverence, but becomes familiar. And they have a relationship built. And that's why Mahaprabhu struck right before he left. And he was like shocked. Then he says, oh, perhaps just like a husband maybe participated in a play. So he's acting a role of a someone, and wife came in the audience and looking her husband is playing a role of a particular person in that play. There's nothing wrong for a wife to say, oh, I like that form that my husband took in that play. Mahaprabhu said, that's all right, but Lakshmi Devi did not give up the austerity. She's still doing the austerity till today. Now, if she likes the play form, you think, then the husband will come back. She can just be happy after the play is over. But this is not over. There is a Krishna Rupam is eternally separated from Narayan Rupam. Then Venkata Bhatta could not reconcile. So he gave a logic. Maybe it is just a temporary something that how could I understand? Then Mahaprabhu gave a more logic. And at the end, of course, Venkata Bhatta confessed that I do not know. Since you know the secret, how is possible? Why Lakshmi is not getting? Lakshmi is not ever unchaste. She is always chaste. Mahaprabhu said, I'm not saying that she is not chaste. But what kind of chastity is that she gave up her husband's place for centuries? She's doing still meditation. Krishna and Narayan is same, but she is giving up her husband's association, but she is meditating for Krishna's association. The sweetness, attraction for the sweetness. Then, of course, the reference started coming. Perhaps nobody can get. That's why Lakshmi is not getting, taking so long. Mahaprabhu say, oh, no, no. So many people got it. Go on 47 chapter. And he gave the verses that look at Uddhava's thing, the Shrutigam. There is a beautiful verses in 9th chapter where I used to memorize those by the mercy of Prabhupada. Let's see. Shrutigan Gopiganer Anugata Hoiya Brajeshwari Sutavaje Brajabhavaloiya. That authorities of Vedic literature, when they heard this sweetness, because God is both great and sweet. Greatness evokes our submission. Sweetness evokes our affection. So there is an eternally difference. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted those, and he says there's Vedic authorities, when they found out the sweetness, secret of sweetness of Brajavashi's prem, Gopi's prem for Krishna, they gave up their all other endeavor to understand. They say, we're going to do just meditation until Krishna accepts us as a gopis. So they became gopis. And he gave the reference. And Venkata Bhatta looked at it. He was surprised. He could not reconcile. He said, how is that you know all this? And then Mahaprabhu quoted this more, that how one become eligible. Then he gave a reference, Bhajyantare gopi deho braje jabe pailo, sei dehe Krishna sange rasa kriya korilo. Bhajyantare. This is the key point. That inner consciousness with outer function relevant to the same mood. And good example, out of four sampradaya, you can see four sampradaya where we stand and where other three sampradaya, actually four sampradaya. We go to a branch of Madhacharya. We are not exactly Madhacharyas, Tattvadis. Prabhupada said there's two group of Madhacharyas followers. The one is called Tattvadis, those are there, and we are the Gauriyas. So two Madhacharya Sampradaya, Madhya Sampradaya, according to Prabhupada. So the one Sampradaya founder is Lord Shiva. Well, we know that story of Lord Shiva when he heard about this beautiful Rasta dance. He could not retain himself. He wanted to, and he started severe austerity. And Jogomaya appeared there. He said, what are you doing, Shiva? He said, please bless me, give me a boon that I can enter in Ras Lila. When he entered, but somehow or other, Krishna did not feel comfortable with the mood of one gopi, has a different mood. And they, even though this is called Swajatiya Sasnigde Sadhu Sangha Sata Bhare, why we are very picky about who we associate with, it's necessary. It has to have the same mentality. same goal, same supporting. This is very nice. That's why even within ISKCON, we have many gurus and they have their group. But we all together with Prabhupada in a big family, but still within one big house, there's a different room as different person lives. Means there is a different group within. And that's necessary, that's normal. That's in spiritual world also. Because there is a different mood. So after they looked at each other, out of billions, Satakoti Gopi Sange Rasa Vilas. Chaitanya Charitamrita says Satakoti means 100 koti, billions. Gopi girls, they know each other mood, except one. So then they all gather together. Lolita, Vishakha, they're all leaders. Say, where do you come from? What is your name? What is your mother-in-law's name? What is your father-in-law's name? Where do you live? And Lord Shiva was not prepared with all this. He just wanted to enter as a Raslila, as a gopi. But he did not know there is a whole mood has to be changed. Whole challenges has to be changed. And he could not answer anything. They started slapping. Of course, not knowing that this is Shiva. Then immediately Lord Shiva was such embarrassed and didn't know what to do, praying to the Guru, Jogomaya. Then Jogomaya appeared there. They say, hey, stop, all the girls, please. This is Lord Shiva. They were like, shocked. Shiva came in the form of a girl. What's going on here? Then she revealed. And of course, Krishna was informed. Of course, Krishna behind everything, but still he has to also see new flavor. Then Shiva asks in a tearful, this is such a wonderful, that Lord becomes so intimate, close. He asks if there is any seva, any service I can do. So Krishna gave him a wonderful service through the gopis as a gatekeeper. And we pray on the Shivaratri days, Vrindavana Vanipate Jaya Soma Soma Mule Sanaka Sanatana Sananda Naradaide. So we see that in that beautiful pastimes, Lord Shiva could not stay inside. He became a gatekeeper. If you are familiar with the gatekeeper, rich people's house or governor's house, you'll see the gatekeeper. He stays like a in and out of the gate, not inside the palace, not enjoying the palace facility, but in or outside. It's a collaborating outside and inside. That's all. But Shiva could not participate. What was the mistake? He had the form of the gopis, but inner conception, inner submission, inner qualification that Krishna is the only enjoyer, the maleism is still there in Shiva, so he could not enter. What is here about Lakshmi? See, the same thing, you can look at it, Madhya Lila chapter 9, 134, I believe. Bhajyantare gopi deha braje jave pailo. One has to have inside and outside the mood of the gopis. Why it is required? There is a caste system. The wrong caste system in India is bad, but pure caste system is good. In spiritual world, there is also caste system. Because in text 135 it says, Gopo Jati Krishna, Gopi Prayashitaha. In Vrindavan there is a one caste system. It's called Gop Jati. And Krishna belongs to that. And any girls, whether most beautiful of heaven or Vaikuntha or anywhere, what to talk about material or America, Miss Universe or whatever, has no chance to ever touch by Krishna in that relationship. Only those girl takes birth in the family of Gop dynasty, Gop Jati, caste, Krishna will only accept them. And further than Mahaprabhu explained that Lakshmi chahe sei dehe Krishna sangam. See, Mahaprabhu gave the hint that Lakshmi, she is a goddess of fortune, wanted to enjoy Krishna, at the same time retain her spiritual body in the form of Lakshmi. Now gopis, they have 4 things in comparison to, this is just my way of calculating. It's not any Shastra said, but from the Bhavishya Puran conversation, I was picking these 4 things. As there, it says that Krishna had a conversation. Krishna appeared to the Lakshmi and asked, why you are meditating that long? And Krishna says, okay, then you have to give up all the Brahmanical service, that you are wife of Narayan, in a pure goodness, you do all Brahmanical service. You have to give up. You have to adapt Vaishya service. Instead of doing puja, massaging Narayan's feet, you have to bathe the cows and cow dung party. Go like this on a wall, like this. This is what the gopis does. This is the Vaishyas. She was hesitating. She said, oh, that's very, but then she said, all right, I'll try to adapt it. I'll learn. But it's very hard to give up what I am eternally doing it. He said, no, you have to forget that. You have to deal with the cows, cow urine, cow's dung, and the cow paddies and all this. You have to make fire to cook. Not like a luxury, thousands of maid servant will be cooking. It was very hard, but she somehow or other agreed. The next, you have to take birth in the village and you will be betrothed. Not to me, to somebody else. She said, impossible. I can never do that. I'm eternally married to my husband, you, my Lord. I cannot. He said, I'm sorry. Difficult, difficult. Then she has to give her a form. The gopis, actually, beauty supersedes Lakshmi's beauty, but in a different category. Just like there is a food in Rajasic food, there is a Sattvic food, there is a Tamasic food. Those who are in Tamasic man, they like Tamasic food. Even though Sattvic food is higher, you tell them, they won't. That's why we trick them with the prasadam, and then eventually they change. But naturally, they will not be attracted. Those who are meat eater naturally don't get attracted to vegetarian. Unless they get sick, or they get feared, or some idea that they will live long, something like that. So similarly, it is not easy for Lakshmi Devi to just give up her. But especially the last one, that to marry someone beside her husband and thinking that I'm married to this coward boy, but give, and then, more funny that Krishna said, then you have to meet me hidingly. Say, why do I have to meet you hidingly? I'm married to you. Say, no, it don't work that way. It was very painful from her angle. Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva Dharma, in one page, Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, originally, Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambram Hasebhamanam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur quoted that verse that originally Radharani is the origin Lakshmi. Devi Krishna Mai Prakta Radhika Paradevata Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sarva Kanti Samhani Para. This is Gautamiya Tantra in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and whole chapter is based on that sloka. Whole chapter. Devi Sarva Lakshmi Mai, Sarva Lakshmi Mai. The word Lakshmi, opulence, beauty, charmingness, attractiveness, everything is Mahalakshmi of Mahalakshmi. That is Radharani. And then with her each mood that expanded, she wanted her beloved to be little submissive, otherwise has to be trained. But how she's going to train? So her expansion came Lalita, who can actually discipline Krishna. You should not behave like this. That's Radharani, but disciplining Krishna. Well, maybe I should not do that. Okay, then Vishaka came. Tolerance, just tolerate. No, no opposition. Krishna is always right. Okay. So different mood manifested. Millions and millions. Kaiho Guha Ruptar Rasere Karam. Why so many gopis? Because of this, to nourish this rasa. So then in the presence, I don't know, in Utah, there was a one man who, we have a temple there, one man who had a 99 wives. And after that, he stopped because the government doesn't allow. Even that was like a big polygamy was like, of course, in Florida, they don't have like this. Only Utah, they have something, some law, I don't know exactly, even though it's a Mormon state. Prabhupada even gave an example. I remember one lecture Prabhupada said, there was a one emperor had 160 wife, but in order to unite with the wife, he only has a chance because he wanted to spend two days with each wife. It would take 1 year, and each wife would get frustrated because whole year she won't be able to see him. So he said even that he failed to please them because none of them happy. Because once a year they will meet and they're just crap. Why marry him? So, but Krishna's is different. And Prabhupada bring this story. Why? Because I don't know, I don't remember he said any name. He said near Delhi somewhere, 160. The point is that how Krishna has a billions and billions of gopi girls, but each one is completely satisfied with him. And they never ever think of any other boy or man, ever. This is a very hard point. There's so many attractive young men in Vrindavan. Did any gopi ever felt like this? Even I remember one devotee, I won't say the name, he's a good friend. He asked one time a question. We were doing a study group many years back. He said, when the gopi girls came back, Krishna took the coward boys came back after a year. And at that year, all the gopis were betrothed to Krishna. But later on, when the coward boys, they hear the Krishna dances with their wife, do they ever kind of a feel, like how do you feel if you find out your wife is dancing with another man? I mean, that conception does not exist in Vrindavan. Why? Rupa Goswami Pad explained. Maya kalpita tadrikasti shilanena vanusoyobi na jatu braja devi nam pativi sahasangama. There is a duplicate form created by Maya, Jogomaya, Maya kalpita tadrikastri. Shilanena anusuyabi, no jatu brajadevinam patibi sahasangam. Never ever associated any of these billion girls with their husband. But they see, when they come to their house, they see their husband, they see, but they do not have any affection, service to anybody. Everything is given to Nanda Maharaj's son. This is Jogomaya's mystical creation. But the gopis, they don't think like that Jogomaya created another duplicate. They don't think like that. But Jogomaya created. Rupa Goswami Pad gives this all question actually answered by Rupa Goswami Pad. In Ujjal Nilmani, Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, I would say. So back to this, Lakshmi Devi wants to have that mm, hidingly meeting somebody, the taste is different than when you are legally own or possess another person. Is difference, flavor. Parokia and upapati, this understanding has to be there. This is created that Krishna was lying down as a Adi Narayan, and all these Lakshmis are serving. But each Lakshmi is thinking, I wish I could serve him intimately. I wish there is a way I could just serve. I want to just give everything for his pleasure. I have so many plans to make him happy. Each Lakshmi thought, then Krishna told Yogamaya, give them birth as a coward girl. Krishna is the writer of that movie of Ras Lila, eternally, writer of Vrindavan Lila. Everything in Vrindavan, Krishna wrote that. But of course, how it's going to manifest, how Krishna will realize, that is Yogomaya's job. But Krishna wanted, that's his origin desire. So Gopi, when they're born, they think like this, that I'm married to someone, but my heart, my mind, my body, my word, my speech, everything given to Krishna. There will be never a day it will ever happen. Even the day, oh my God, this 12 o'clock. I'll end with this last part. I was going to touch something else. That even in Vrindavan, to demonstrate this, when the news came one time that all the girls, those who are betrothed to their husband, will go back to their to live with their husband. First time they're going. They are all young girls. That time, a beautiful episode took place. Just to give a little clue, that Krishna, Yogamaya made Krishna forget that he is the writer of this script. Yogamaya completely covered omnisciency. So Krishna is just acting like a coward boy, and Subal, Madhumangal, hey, Kanaya, did you hear? All those girls going to go and live with their husband. Krishna said, it's not important what we're going to do next. Actually, he is interested because it is giving him pain when the news came. The big drummer in every street corner announced by Yogamaya. Purnamashi is the manager, leader of the Vrindavan Lila. And Krishna, hearing here, there, and news that comes, and he hears some crying here, there, the girls, they have to leave their parents, have to live now with their in-laws until they grow up, but they have to be raised in the in-laws, and seeing that one boy, it's a Vedic culture, and it's such a painful, finally Krishna even burst out. How did he burst out? He ran into jungle. And he's saying, what is happening? What is wrong with me? Oh God, he is calling to God to find out. Why am I in love with those married lady? I don't know what to do. As for the list of the first class gentlemen, my father stands the best. Nanda Maharaj, such a wonderful. As for the chastity, nobody is compared to my mother. And I'm their only child. What is wrong with me? Why I'm in love with married ladies? Now I cannot give up this. I'm so attached. And he cried and cried and cried until Madhumangal called from outside. Krishna, we cannot find you. Where are you? All the boys, let's go in the jungle. We need to find him. I don't know where he have. Then Krishna all of a sudden, tried to compose himself and came on. Oh, I was just looking, one calf I thought come by this side. Actually, calf did come by just to make him to come there safely. Calf is serving as a servant there. Calves are generally friends, and there are 4 types of friends: servant friend, equal friend within the calves. And the cows are like a mother, Vatsalaras. So then Krishna came back and said, oh no, I was just looking. He was so scared to reveal. That's one side. Did Radharani, Jotila Kutile ever, did Radharani, Lolita Bisag ever went? Yes and no. Instead of that, early morning they all went to commit suicide. They went to this deep, dark pond, 8 square miles, where Kalia rode. It's such a spooky dark. There was a rumors that no birds fly, nobody goes there because everybody pass by within that 8 square mile dies. But of course, Krishna delivered that Kalia. But they remember, they went there. That was their first meeting of Purvarag. Deep emotional attachment came out. Why? Because Krishna's wonderful, heroic dance on the top of the hoods of Kalia. Of course, Mother Yashoda saw he is in a deplorable situation. She was going to jump in the water to help Nanda Baba, everybody, millions, but Balaram smiling. And they know when Balaram smile means it's not danger. He said, don't worry, I know my brother, he'll be fine. The snake will be finished, don't worry. He knows what to do. I told him all the secret and he's smiling. So they kind of didn't go further. Raghunath Das Goswami says, you have to see the pastimes through Balaram and Rohini Maya. These 2 personality, all the pastime we can realize how it is happening. Of course, Krishna was such a uniquely dancing from one hood to another hood. Such a uniquely, his muscle is like not like a modern, ugly exercise, builder shows. Not like this, but beautiful, handsome muscle and like a grown-up young. And all these girls, instead of Vatsalabha, they're like, wow, what a boy. Wow, we want him. I mean, each of the girl actually fell in love with Krishna. That was the big episode. At night even, Krishna was like, because they stayed on the bank of Kalia, they didn't go back home. And it was very nice that Krishna's mind was disturbed. Who is that girl? Who is that girl? One girl out of all these girls, so attracted. I wanted to see her, but he knows that they are betrothed to some boy. So the intensity of their each other grown so much, until that day of the news that they are all going back. So all these girls came. Just to give the conclusion, another day I'll give the whole story. Just to came to the conclusion, Radharani gave the biggest speech amongst all leaders. Nobody knew each other. That was the place their first meeting in a group wise. That's why the Ashtasaki became Radharani's Shaki. That's a whole explanation. But on that speech, Radharani says, we don't want to waste time. I want to give up my life. I don't want to say another man or another family or anything. I want to live eternally to a place, a village like this, where Nanda Maharaj's son is my object of love. Mother Yashoda is his mother and Nanda Baba is mother. But only thing I don't want is another man in my life. As she gave the speech, she expressed her emotion through crying and genuine feeling. All the girls started like listening her. They all came to know who is this girl Radharani. As she was stepping slowly to go in the water and just kill herself, and then slowly, slowly to the knee, to the waist, to the chest, to the neck. When came to mouth, immediately Jamuna Devi just appeared. Stop, stop, you silly girls, you acting like a very innocent. Do not act like this. They never saw Jamuna Devi as a person. I am Jamuna Devi. This is my body river. I'm going to promise you something today. But wait, I have another friend. Then Purnamashi just appeared. Hey girls, you know me, I'm the leader of this village. Then they also, oh my God, she found out. Said, I am the one who arranging things. I am promising you, you'll never meet another man. Only you will meet Nanda Maharaja's son. All of a sudden, the depressed face started blossoming. And then all of a sudden, another girl appeared, Brinda Devi. He said, this is my vow. You remember when you did this Katyayani Brata, I am this jungle girl, Devi Katyayani Mahamaye Mahajogi Adishari. That was me. I promise you, you will always meet Nanda Maharaja's son, never meet another person. Then Jamuna Devi also assured this way, reconciled everything. Then says, don't worry, go back, go to your designated place to your in-laws, but you'll never meet another boy. You always meet Nanda Maharaja's son, I promise. With that blossoming enthusiasm, happiness, they bonded and they all went home. And next day they went to their in-laws' house. This way, this Parokiya Lila started. And this beautiful explanation given by the Acharyas. So I'll end here. If any reflection or further conversation, I'm sorry, there's so much to say. But we have the whole chapter. Hopefully you will all relish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful. The whole katha and everything. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, Prabhuji. Any other devotee has anything, comment or question to Prabhuji, they can go ahead.
No
Hare Krishna
question?
Prabhu.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Koti Koti Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. So nicely explained, Lord Krishna and all gopis bow. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga. At least we not qualified to enter in Sridham Vrindavan Dham, this material body. We can at least qualified to become a sweeper in Sridham Vrindavan Dham or monkeys or cuckoos or bees or flower pray for us. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga.
Thank you, Mata. You know, 10th canto, 13th chapter, one of the purport, Prabhupada says that if you want to become a mother of Krishna, he's giving us some details how to become a Brajavasi. It will take 4,300,000,000 years. I was a little scared reading that sentence. And then Prabhupada writes, but if you want to become a servant of Mother Yashoda, you can go after the end of this life. This is Mahaprabhu's special gift. You can enter in Brajadam as a servant, easy. But if you want a particular rasa, particular way you want, this is what Vallabha Bhatta's position. He doesn't want to give up what understanding he has. If he can adapt what Mahaprabhu came to give, then the journey is easy. But it's not easy. Even though he is a pure devotee, even though he has, we all have some idea what we want in our life, how we want to serve. But if we can learn how to adapt the great view, Mahaprabhu's gift, then journey is easy. So I always think like, I don't want 4,300,000,000. You mean next day of Brahma? That's what I think Prabhupada wanted to say. But we can go back, we can go to Vrindavan, enter Vrindavan as a servant, maid servant of Srimati Radharani, maid servant of Rupa Manjari, maid servant of Bhaktivinoda Thakur also expressed this. There is a beautiful song you can sing. Siddha deha diya Vrindavana maje seva amrita karo dana Lalita Sakhira Ajugga Kinkari Binoda Dariya Chepaya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur write what he wants. He wants a maid servant position of Lalita Sakhi. Why? Because Lalita Sakhi, this is a key point. This is generally not for public, it's for those who are practicing. If we want to serve directly Krishna or Radharani, there can be dangers. Look at the example of Kala Krishna Das. He served Mahaprabhu directly. But he had an under guidance because Mahaprabhu didn't take him. It is Nityananda Prabhu who told him, please you take, because you are a sannyasi. Sometimes you chant and you faint and you may forget to carry your cloth, your commandol, drinking water, and so this will be difficult. At least one servant, Mahaprabhu says, okay, I'll take. So he was under guidance of Nityananda Prabhu, not only Nityananda Prabhu, the whole group in Puri. Everybody agreed. But Junior Haridas had a direct service to Mahaprabhu. When Junior Haridas did a little mistake, Mahaprabhu finished, is done. But Kala Krishna Das, even though Mahaprabhu dismissed him, but he is never dismissed from his service because he has a under guidance another devotee. So if we can stay always under guidance of the devotees, we will be definitely entering in Golok Vrindavan end of this life and with a green channel and a joyful mood without any hesitation. This is just a little tips. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shri Dham Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Another
Krishna.
fascinating class that I will have to re-listen to. But a couple of things got my attention. One was about Vishaka. You know, actually, I've been thinking about this for a long time, because she's often described as having that submissive mood toward Krishna. You know, whatever Krishna wants. So, but I thought that, you know, in Radharani's camp, you know, you wouldn't find that so much. I thought that kind of mood would exist only in Chandravali's camp. So how is that she has this such submissive mood in left camp?
It's not exactly submissive mood. It's kind of like Radharani's mood herself. But if what she's going through, she cannot express to Krishna. So she expanded as Vishaka Devi. Just like as you mentioned Chandravali, just like in a dancing, when Krishna grabbed Chandravali's left hand while dancing, or she's like pushing his hand and putting her right hand, because left hand is like a muchi, she thinks, so it's not proper, so it's like a right hand. If in the dance, if Krishna, some or other Chandravali's feet touch Krishna's or step on Krishna's toes or something, she feels, oh, this is horrible, that's not proper. So it's like hesitating, resisting. When Radharani hears this, she laughs Because when Radharani dances, it does not matter who is stepping on whose toes or which hand is going, anyway making Krishna happy, that's all is matters. But there is some, Radharani also has the mood of etiquette. That etiquette, Radharani does not manifest all the time. It is within her, so she expanded herself as a Chandravali. So we have to reconcile like this. All her mood has an individual person, at the same time all moods within her. And above all this, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was it yesterday his disciplines? Yeah, yes, yes, I think so. Day before yesterday, sorry. I was giving class. That one mode, I didn't explain that, but one mode is Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said to Srila Sridhar Maharaj, his disciple, he says, Jukta Vairagya. Jukta Vairagya means anything that will glorify Mahaprabhu, anyway, whether the suggestion was that the Sir Anderson will not eat vegetarian, he eats only meat. So they suggested that meat should be supplied from Calcutta Hotel. And Sridhar Maharaj told Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, no, we can't do that, Prabhupada. Then what people will think? We supply meat, we offer. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, our goal is like Radharani's. Any way to glorify Mahaprabhu. If Sir Anderson, the governor of India, under Queen, British Queen, comes to Mayapur, and Mayapur will be well known, because those days British rules half of the world or something like this. The British Empire doesn't have a sunset. They, they have all this slogan, they say. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says, if we bring him here and he is happy, and he declared this is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, even though nobody ever heard in England about Lord Chaitanya, then this will be the foundation of Mahaprabhu's beginning of his glorification. So he said, doesn't matter. I already thought this thousands of times, he said. He said, anything will do that will glorify and please Krishna. And then I was thinking like that, like, wow. Like he did so many things, like one great politician used to come to listen him, but he has a bad habit of smoking hookah. Every 10 minutes, 15 minutes like this. He has to go. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur noticed that every time he's trying to give a conclusion of some topics, then this man walks outside and then he comes back after few minutes and then goes back again. And then he found out why he leaves, ask him. So he smoked hookah, he doesn't want to smoke in front of him. Next day, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said there should be a hookah on his table. Just leave him here, let him smoke, and while he's listening. I don't want him to move out. So this is the mentality of selfless sacrifice to establish Krishna's position. This is the mentality of Radharani. But then how each individual mood will be released by Krishna? So she expanded each mood of each person. That's how unlimited gopis are there.
So if you're going to find, all, these kinds of moods in both camps, why is there this demarcation? Chandravali's side is submissive, Radharani's side is, more, antagonistic or whatever we want to say. If you're going to find personalities like Vishaka in there, why, what's the meaning of saying left camp, right camp? If you're going to find,
Yes. That's already discussed in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that why there is a 4 types of group, and then there's a 400 types of group, 4,000 types of groups. Why? Only for one reason, to increase the rasa, taste for Krishna to relish. Krishna is such a expert genius to release the mellow of transcendental love. He's such a genius. Radharani knows every little thought Krishna is thinking and she's just making it manifest. Nobody knows, but she's manifesting. This way, Krishna competition. See, mundane competition has a problem because there is a different owner, different relisher. But of Vrindavan, everything is only for one person, for Krishna. So that competition is not really a comparable in mundane world. In mundane world, if you have a business, I have a business, you are enjoying your profit, I'm enjoying my profit. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is enjoying everybody's profit. That's why it is wonderful. It is wonderful. There is no mundane enmity or hate.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, everything, all moods are meant and exist for the sake of the Lila, the enjoyment of love. But I was just wondering about this mixture of moods within one camp, but that's okay.
Yes, that's a very good question. Thank you. It's a wonderful question.
One other different question, Prabhu, if possible. Can you just repeat or elaborate on that point you were making when you said, I didn't catch it properly, the fine line that you mentioned concerning Arjuna giving up all dharma, but his dharma of being Kshatriya was not meant to be given up. And at that point you said there's a fine line, right?
Fine line is that like one devotee named Lochan Prabhu in Los Angeles many years back, or 30 years back, I met him. And he's the one who made those murti of Prabhupada's murti. And he asked Prabhupada that what service can I do to please you? Prabhupada said, look within what service you would like to do. So he was kind of like bewildered. He's just a young teenager American. It's like, what do you mean? I don't know how to serve God or Krishna. So it's next day or day after they met again. Prabhupada says, so did you find out what you like to do? So, I don't know, Prabhupada. He said, no, find out what you like to do and you do. So after a week, he realized, okay, I grew up in a family to make things out of clay. I guess his family had a clay pots, all this, I don't know what they call in America. In a village I saw in India, how they make from the wheel, the clay pots and clay doll, clay, all things. So he expressed that to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, yes, do that. So he became actually very successful in that service with the mercy of Prabhupada. So then another time in Miami, actually it is happened in Miami, that Vishal Prabhu was standing at the door and one Swami came and told Prabhupada, well, I want to do this way to please Krishna. I want to do this service. I don't want to do that service. Then Prabhupada noticed his discussion. He says, you should not be interested of pleasing Krishna or not pleasing Krishna. If you really want ultimate, you should focus what pleases Krishna. Then he was like, oh, so your own.
Wait, he said you should not want what? You should not want.
You should not think to please Krishna or not to please Krishna. You should think what pleases Krishna.
Wait, I'm not getting the difference.
In other words, say if I bring some money to temple, okay, I'm here to please God. Or say gave the money to Prabhupada, just like Alex, he did in Laguna Beach. He gave donation to Prabhupada. Very good. Then somebody say, okay, I give up smoking. That will make Prabhupada happy. Prabhupada said, yes, I'll be happy if you do that. So we see that many conversation, something they wanted to do, Prabhupada will be happy, and something that, but then some devotee ask also Prabhupada, what will please you? And Prabhupada expressed, that is better. It's a very fine line between these two.
Yeah, I'm still not getting that line.
See, we have an idea how to please God, Krishna. We all have idea. And we also have an idea what we don't want to do, that will also please him if we don't do this. Like if we don't eat meat, if we don't, follow this, if we don't do many things, that will please. But more than that, we should be looking what will please Krishna. Very subtle. Just like.
You mean like having your own idea about how to please a person versus
adapting somebody's who is, say, Krishna says, mad bhakta puja abhadika sarva bhuteshu manomati. Krishna says, when you actually develop love for me, you should glorify and adore my devotee, serve my devotee. So when somebody say, I'm going to serve Prabhupada, I'm going to serve other devotees because it pleases Krishna, that idea is higher than just doing service to please Krishna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your own independent thinking about
Correct.
What will please. Mm-hmm.
It's very fine line. It's like almost sometimes difficult to sort it. Means somebody has to be very alert. What pleased, what actually pleases Krishna, what Krishna express, what will please him.
Yes. Yeah, no, I understand your point. No. Somebody might want to do something for me, and because they think it's a very nice thing to do. But better than that is trying to find out what I like.
Yes, very good. You got it. Yeah. Yes, Mother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a very fine line, isn't it?
Well, not anymore. Because you stuck with me. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So, as this relates to the point you were bringing up when you were discussing Arjuna, can you bring it back to that again?
Arjuna's case, what I was saying, that Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam bhaja. You should give up all varieties of religion and surrender to me. And then you will be free. You don't have to worry for anything. Sarva papebha means any sort of or any types of sin. But then giving up dharma, what is giving up dharma means? We have a varnashram dharma, we have kula dharma, we have a duty as a husband, pati dharma, duty as a wife, patni dharma. Then we have a samajik dharma, lokik dharma, so many dharma. Manusmriti explains. It's almost like every step you go, there is just some responsibility, some duty. And that's how the civilized society raise the family and children very peaceful. It's true. So question comes, why did Krishna says give up all dharma? Because there is a hidden meaning in it. So one place Prabhupada says, because all this dharma has a material motivation.
Mm-hmm.
That has to be given up. Because when Arjuna surrendered, he says, Karishye vachanam tava, I'm ready to perform the service. Now you have to think that way. Arjuna said in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita that I can fight. I don't want to fight. Karpanna dosa apahata sabhava. Prichami dharma sammura cheta. Dharma. I am puzzled. Karpanna dosa apahata sabhava. My sabhav is polluted by this situation. I'm seeing it. Now I don't know what to do. I'm surrendering to you. Sadhimam tam prapannam. I'm submitting myself to you. Please tell me what to do. And then after a few sloka, you will see that it says that his Gandiva is slippering, and then he says, Krishna, I'm surrendered to you. You please teach me. Then he said, I won't be able to fight. So is Krishna going to teach him, or he is telling Krishna what he's going to do or not going to do? So there is some kind of motivation is there. But then at the end, when Arjuna completely surrendered, 1873, he says, Nasta mahasmriti labda tat prasadat mayochyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. I'm ready to do because all my doubt has gone. I'm firmly fixed. All memory has come back that I'm your servant, eternal servant. I want to just serve you. Then Krishna says, okay, you gave up all the dharma. What does that mean? Means no separate interest. But what Arjuna was born with as a Kshatriya dharma, his nature to fight, his nature to be partial, he is not a sage to be impartial. Those things are still maintained. He has to now look at Krishna's interest, and he has to kill people, and at the same time no enmity feeling. It's very art, very beautiful. This is called no dharma but doing dharma. Very fine print. Because we think like Arjuna could have said like, okay, I'm surrendered to you. Let's engage somebody else to fight. I'm not doing any fighting because I'm surrendered now. No, that's not what surrender means. Surrender means you do now on behalf of Krishna. Krishna says no enmity, nirvair, sarva bhutesu. When you see, first he says in 1133, if you look at the Bhagavad Gita, tasmat tam uttishta jasolavasya, jitta satrun bhungse rajyam samriddhi. That you get up and prepare to fight and win glory, conquer your enemies. Now, if you use a logic, how do you conquer an enemy? You have to know the identity of enemy, how the enemy looks like. And then you have to kill the enemy. But then after few sloka, he says, Nirvair sarva bhutesu, but make sure you don't have an enmity. Is it possible? Yes and no. No, if I still act like a separate. Yes, I can when I exactly act on behalf of Krishna. Krishna says, Tasmat sarvesu kalesu mamunusmara juddhacha mayarpita manobuddhi mame vasyasya asangsaya. So Krishna says that you give up all other idea, what you adopt, that you think of me, and while you are killing, that you killing for me without any enmity, but you have to identify as an enemy. This is very difficult, but we have to do that way. And this is how we will be advancing. I hope you get that point.
Yeah, I just want to confirm though that by verse 1873 or whatever it is.
Yes, 1873.
Yeah, by that time, Arjuna, although he has, he has material Kshatriya nature,
Mhm.
because he was fully surrendered by that verse, right? If Krishna wanted him to just go to the forest, he would have happily done that also. Despite having Kshatriya nature, because he was by this time fully surrendered, that means that he would have been willing to, renounce those Kshatriya activities also, is it not?
Yes. That stage
Okay.
is called selfless sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, if Arjuna would say, I can fight Krishna, he said, I don't want to fight. But if he would say, I can fight, that is also false ego.
If he said, I can fight or cannot?
I can, C-A-N.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's
If
not
he,
what Krishna asked him.
in the beginning, Krishna didn't ask him to fight?
Correct.
How? I thought
Because
he did.
the battle, no, in the beginning, see, they came, the Yudhishthira Maharaj, they arranged this war. But Arjuna, Krishna came as a charioteer. He's a driver. He did
Yeah.
not come as a supreme lord, as a ultimate instructor. He came as just a counselor, you can say, or chariot driver.
Mm-hmm.
So if Arjuna did say he cannot fight, that is due to false ego. Now, if he said, I can fight, that is also false ego. But to carry out your order, nothing is mine, that is what Krishna wanted.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Whether to fight or not fight, as long as
Correct.
I'm doing it on
Correct.
your order. Yeah. Okay. And that selfless sacrifice that we said, if he's not even attached to fighting, is there a Sanskrit term for that?
Selfless sacrifice?
Yes, like for example,
Yeah, it's
if
it is what Atma Nikshep. Give yourself.
Nikshep. Oh.
You become a instrument. Nimitta matra bhava sabbhasachi. That's what Krishna says. Nimitta matra bhava sabbhasachi. You become my instrument.
Atma Nikshepa.
Yes. Because empowerment does not mean absence of obstacles. It means preservance amidst obstacles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is what we notice here, that in Arjuna's case, in spiritual circles, special soul who do extraordinary services like Prabhupada or Arjuna, considered empowered by the divine. When we try to do some service and face some obstacles, I'm talking about myself also, we think, oh, we can do that because we are not empowered. I don't know, maybe most of the devotees don't think, but I see some devotees, they think, oh no, I don't have power to do something big service. We think like this. But consciously or subconsciously, we equate the presence of obstacle with the absence of empowerment.
Yeah. No, it's not so. Yeah.
But such equalization begs the question, are obstacles absent for empowered souls? I thought many times, I asked that question. So that's why that example, Arjuna, the Bhagavad Gita here, Prabhupada pointing out, being divinely empowered when it exhorts him to arise, fight, attain victory. In 1133, you can look at 11.33. And Krishna assured that his enemy have already been killed by divine arrangement. One good example, one of Prabhupada's godbrothers said very nicely, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Prabhupada loved him a lot, that even that Maharaj says that he could not understand that every town and village, Prithivite ache joto nagaradi gram sarvatra hoi prachar hoibe mor naam. Mahaprabhu predicted every town and village, my name, holy name will be glorified or chanted, sing. So he said, we thought when we read that sloka, we thought the world means just India. Just India, this kirtan will go on. But this A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami has proved, no, world means world, not India. And in the conversation, Prabhupada says, very interesting, one time Maharaj and Prabhupada, they had a conversation, it's in YouTube, you can see there in front of the Prabhupada's disciple. That Prabhupada also mentioned that it's very difficult to see that how something so impossible actually possible. And then they reinstated, actually when Krishna predicts something, the empowerment already built in that instruction. It is not that we have to explore and then Krishna will send the protection. No. When Krishna says, you think of me, I'll protect you, by thinking, the protection already built in that thinking. We don't have to separately pray, okay, I'm thinking of you, Krishna, please help me. No. This is the beauty of Krishna's instruction. When Krishna says, think of me, you will be protected, you will be protected. Because the protection already built in there. So back to that it was, maybe you can say, Arjuna's unshakable resolve to keep fighting even in the presence of obstacles so frequent and formidable that they would have made lesser mortals give up. Arjuna's empowerment was that he persevered to the fullest extent of his skill, strength, and savvy. And of course, when his utmost effort were not enough, Krishna intervened miraculously, like Jayadratha. Out of anger, Prabhupada even said one time, Krishna is trying to make Arjuna angry. Now the materialistic people will not understand why God is encouraging, making him angry to be violent. Because they cannot understand that to maintain peace, you need violence sometimes. Just to maintain peace. So when Arjuna got angry finally, when his son died, and out of his extreme anger, he said, before tomorrow sunset, I'm going to kill Jayadratha. Now, he saw in one angle that all are dead, put to death, before the war began. He saw that in the universal form. Now, he could have taken from that angle, well, they're already dead, what's the big deal? I said like this. No, Krishna wanted him to experience this, that he's fighting for Krishna. And Krishna is reciprocating this, and everybody is involved. So in that discussion, Krishna asked Arjuna, oh, you took a serious vow before sunset. You will kill him or you will put yourself into final, like a cremation. That's a very serious vow. How did you take it? And I like the view. In Mahabharata, you can read. Arjuna said, I'm paraphrasing, Arjuna said something like this. Oh, Krishna, yes, I was tormented when I heard my son died. But one thing for sure, even though I took that strong vow, and I'm going to do it because I'm working as your instrument, but because I took that vow, and you have asked this question, I know very well that you know how much power I have. But I also want to mention you, I do know what is your power. The omnipotent, unlimited. So we can work together and fight. That made Krishna actually happy. Because even though he's telling Krishna what he's going to do and how it's going to happen, Krishna wanted him. That's why Krishna was happy. And you know the whole story, that how almost the sun set, but he didn't kill it. But then Krishna Sudarshan Chakra made the sun still just last moment. And then all of a sudden, Jayadratha's chariot Jayadratha got finished by Arjuna, by Krishna's blessing. So with Krishna's mercy, if we keep on chanting and if we keep on focusing to please Prabhupada and devotees here, then by their mercy and our endeavor, we can also achieve the same success, entering into Golok Vrindavan, end of our life. But if we take other route, there is no guarantee. This is what I understand. So in a nutshell, I would say the important thing for me to learn is that Arjuna did not use Krishna's assurance of empowerment to expect or demand an obstacle-free service. Sometimes because we think sometimes, oh, I'm an advanced devotee now, why I just passed through the red light and I got ticket, but I'm chanting every day, I'm so nice devotee, I'm so much dedicated, why I got the ticket? Is this fair? Why Krishna just didn't divert the traffic police other way? Not me, there's so many bad people. Well, it's not exactly a proper way to look at it. Instead, Arjuna persevered relentlessly. Similarly, we too can press on, no matter what the obstacles. Even if external success takes time to manifest, we will discover in our perseverance an unbreakable connection with Krishna. We all do, each of us, I believe that. I don't mean to be falsely prouded, but I do. That's how I sustain, everybody sustain. Bhakti sustained with conviction, determination coming from inner connection, our sadhana, chanting. Not mental satisfaction, mental emotion, or tribulation, COVID-19, as I mentioned. No, bhakti does not sustain by that. So, and if we do this, because even if external success takes time to manifest, we will discover, as I said, in our perseverance and unbreakable connection with Krishna. A connection that is sublimely enriching and supremely fulfilling. And such resilience is the most important empowerment. Why? Because for it will enable us to please Krishna and eventually attain his abode, life's ultimate achievement.
You know, Prabhu, I mean, I know the time's getting late, but this is a point that has really troubled me, that, you know, as you were saying, the empowerment to fulfill an instruction is there in the instruction, but how to experience that is true when you're meeting with failure after failure in pursuit of trying to follow that instruction. When you are experiencing failures that will not feel like empowerment or that power is in the instruction. So how in the midst of that? Are you supposed to understand that the power is in the instruction?
Yes, it's built in, and that's a fact. And one thing for sure in my life I saw, number one criteria for each of us to have a trust. When Prabhupada said chant Hare Krishna and be happy, can we trust that word of Prabhupada? Can we trust? Trust means not doubting, sometime believing, okay, we'll just try. That's not trust. Trust is a big word. Prabhupada had a strong trust on his guru's instruction. That trust is very powerful. And then Prabhupada even expressed that there's so many negativity came in his life. And he said negativity will control you if you allow it to enter your mind. So I did not allow. I went on because I trusted my Guru Maharaj. Now you may say, well, we may not be as strong as Prabhupada. What about us? I mean, I thought about it. Then we have to associate with the people, with those devotees who actually have a strong trust on the word of Guru Krishna like that. We cannot associate with those negativity people surround us, whoever it is, he or she, and think like we'll get positive. Not possible. That's why association of positive devotees, very important. You know, yesterday I was talking to Mahatma Prabhu that first time I saw one of the quotes of Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is very interesting. He says, mercy means standing on two sticks. You know, like when you see a vine, they always have a shelter to grow. Vine does not go straight up. Mercy means these two stick that it grows on. Encouragement and kindness. When we inspire another person, another devotee, when another devotee inspires, that is the mercy. Kindness means that person, he or she also wishing my spiritual success. That is real kindness. So mercy means inspiration, encouragement. This Bhakti Siddhanta was, wow, I was like, this is what mercy means, encourage, inspire. It was interesting, one very senior devotee said that he started encouraging whether he was feeling good or not, he just started. And he said it changed him so much within himself that he's doing now 100 times more service than he used to do before. He said, I'm so inspired always. I don't know, from within, I feel like Prabhupada is inspiring me. But in the beginning, I was very negative. When I heard Prabhupada says how to be enthusiastic, Prabhupada said, just be enthusiastic. So he said, I was just trying. I was trying to encourage others and be enthusiastic. And it became built in automatically, like his instruction carries that in our consciousness. And then we find within ourselves, oh, there's something actually within me encouraging me. I'm a self-motivated devotee now by the mercy of Prabhupada. When we're going to experience? Now, not tomorrow, not next life, this life. If we cannot be completely self-motivated, at least associate with those who have a positive attitude. It's difficult in Kali Yuga to find because there's so many negatives sometimes, even amongst us. So we have to be very careful. We should not judge them. If somebody is always negative, it's possible sometime you'll see. We can pray for them and be an exchange with those Also, one way to examine, there is a one verse in Bhagavatam says, Gunadikam mudam lipshet. If you see good quality in others, try to appreciate and admire. And I have started doing that, appreciating and encouraging in a sense. Not that I am a good devotee, but I'm trying to do that, and it actually works very good. You feel the affection and kindness from the other devotee once you start doing that. But it is genuine, genuine. When somebody is so good in his chanting or in her chanting, and you say that you are so good, every day you are like so steady, such an encouragement. And that devotee also feel, and he encourages me. And it's like vice versa, so it like goes on, and it's wonderful. A good example, Radhanath Maharaj. Every time he's so encouraging. It's like unbelievable. It's like ocean of encouragement he has. Something. Radha Govinda Maharaj says a wonderful thing. He said, never see others' fault. Always try to, yes, the person may have a fault, but you are not the corrector. You are not sent here to correct him. And even if you go like, oh no, that person definitely needs a correction, then come with a motherly affection type of activity. You built a relation that where you care for him so much that you'll see that person actually will look up to you. Said, I'm this, then you can help. So it's required some, like surgery takes expert physician, surgeons and nurses and all these experts. So we all have to become a good surgeon to while we are allowing our guru to operate our heart also. And only way we can find out the result is a self-examination. That's the only way. But it is happening amongst us. Some devotees are very much advancing, very well. In this pandemic, some devotees are way advancing, like high road. They're driving in a high speed in a 4-lane. And some, they're getting very depressed or some or other diverted or this, that, some or other, they're just staying in the same mood or feeling depressed. Then we have to help them. But in the name of help, if I'm not properly situated and trying to help other person, it's very risk. So that's why Prabhupada said a wonderful thing in 5th canto, in Jara Bharat case. I never forget, I mentioned this before also. He said every preacher in our movement should remember that Jara Bharat, in order to be merciful or helpful to the deer, he did not care for his own spiritual life. And as a result, 3 more births. So we have to be, and Prabhupada was very heavy on that. Actually, 2 purport. Next purport also Prabhupada said. Therefore, a devotee should be always careful, maintain his spiritual uplifting, always at the highest, good speed, while helping others. Otherwise, did Jadavarat really help the deer? That's the question. In the name of helping the deer, finally deer also disappeared, and he also he left the body, he became a deer. So was not really actually ultimately helpful. Of course, he is a advanced devotee, but Krishna arranged this scenery for us to learn that we have to be careful. We have to, Mahaprabhu says, Nacho gao bhakta sange kara sankirtan Krishna nami upadesi taro sarvajan. You should dance, chant, do your sadhana every day. And Krishna nami upadesi taro sarvajan. And then deliver others with Krishna. He did not say just preach, preach, preach. No, he said practice and then preach. Practice, preach, practice, preach. Both. We must do both, not just practice. First preaching is your own mind. In teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Prabhupada said every day one should preach to his own mind or her own mind. That why we do bhakti. What is the value of bhakti? The 4 questions should be uttered, because whole Bhagavad Gita I find is only 4 questions. What is the suffering? Why is the suffering? What is the solution of the suffering? And how we can relate to our existence to come out of it. And you can find the whole Bhagavad Gita is just based on these 4 questions. Even though Arjuna asked 16 questions, but all 16 questions I found within these 4 questions. Oh, I'm sorry. So already I went 1 hour over. Sorry, mothers. There are a lot of devotees there. I don't mean to give you worrying. I pray to Guru Krishna and Prabhupada that you all advance, and you pray for me also to advance. Hare Krishna.
Oh, Prabhu, I wish we could go on, but I'm sure everybody wants us to end by now. But so thank you so much for your, as usual, thorough answers. I wish we didn't have to stop, but I don't want everybody to kill me either. So
I don't want to answer elaborately, but I tell you something I learned from Gaur Govind Maharaj. He said every meeting has to have an end, because if we don't have an end, we don't value the meeting. In other words, the separation keeps the meeting alive.
you need 2 banks, right? For the
Yes, in Jayapataka, in our temple, in Achar temple, we are praying every day for His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, because we love him. And we pray to Prabhupada and Krishna to keep him at least some time more, at least maybe 30, 40, 50 years more or something like that. Because he has impacted so much to so many souls. And he's such a wonderful devotee. So then one devotee from from New Orleans sent me a text that very depressed. And so I asked the question that what is the person's what value you will find in the absence that you can you express this in his presence now? I want to hear what you will be missing in his absence if something happened that you are actually appreciating now. Because if we don't think like this, then we don't really appreciate the devotees. How rare opportunity to have this association. How much Jayapataka Maharaj has done. Well, let's read or let's think how much he has affected, or any devotee. If we don't appreciate, then how we will be really value their contribution in our life, or we will be missing in their absence. How? Because I had a fearful experience in my own life when my mother died. And it's natural to cry. But then what shocked me that I was writing myself. And then after 3 months, I looked at my diary and I was dumbstruck that I was such a selfish, wretched son, that most of the thing that she was doing for me in my childhood life, so I was selfish. I was crying for my own self, even though it's for my mother. But she has so much quality, I was not focusing on the quality. But what she was doing for me, I was just interested on that I'll be missing because she is gone now. That is not real glory to me of any person. Just like one example, one day I was actually depressed. I was a teenager and I was serving Jayapataka Maharaj, and he told me, why don't you go and do kirtan with a group of devotees? And I went there. I was not still happy, but still we were banging the Midanga and Kirtan. We went to Murari Gupta's house in Mayapur and came back. It was 1982 or 81. And then after I came back, he said, I didn't know that he was looking from the Lotus building roof. He said, I saw you happy and jumping and dancing. I said, no, I was not happy. I was just trying to deny. I was like, Maharaj said, no, I saw you. I was like, how did you see? He said, I saw it. Then later on he told me. So he's like, he has done so much, little things to inspire devotees, encouragement. Even recently, I just read in a Facebook, somebody put it his word that if you just do this morning program and chant, take prasadam, never eat without offering, and chant and do this sadhana, your spiritual consciousness will be awakened. Such a little comment is such a powerful, such a attractive. Because you can see where he's coming, where he's situated, such a highly elevated soul. So hopefully we pray. Maybe we all can pray. At least you have 22 devotees are participating. We can all chant one time for him. Loudly from your heart, in your home, wherever you are, for the well-wishing friend, disciple, followers from anywhere and everywhere. By chanting this loud chanting that benefits Jayapataka Maharaj's life and health especially. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare Hare.
Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Should we end here? Mothers.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mata. Should we end?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for now.
Panchakalpataruvesya kripa sindhubevacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki jai, Ishkan Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Pramanande, Hari Hari Bol.
His Grace Pran Govinda Prabhuji ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, very beautiful class.